This was brought to you by Franklin County Internet Gaming Society on YouTube and Facebook.
Drought's wondrous lantern. This artifact is wrought from finest yellow gold. Its beautiful crafted framework is set with huge colorful gems, clear crystal lenses. An unwavering pure flame burns within. The faces are normally fitted with the crystal lenses, but the colorful gems are actually additional lenses fashioned to fit the four faces of the lantern. The lantern's magical powers change depending on which of the lenses are fitted to it. The flame of Drought's wondrous lantern cannot be extinguished by any known means other than by exhausting its supply of fuel. If this occurs, however, the lantern's possessor is instantly slain. The lamp is fueled by crushed transparent gems containing in a small compartment at its base. The lantern can be refueled with 10,000 gold pieces worth of crushed transparent gems such as diamonds, rubies, and sapphires. No gemstone worth less than 500 gold pieces can be used as fuel. This load of fuel provides the lantern with 100 charges. If used as a normal lantern, it expends 1 charge per year of burning. The use of magical power requires additional charges as burns fuel at a faster rate. The 4 faces of the lantern be shuttered so that no light shines through. If all 4 openings of the lantern are fitted with crystal lenses, anyone exposed to the lantern's glow for consecutive hours does not need food, drink, or sleep for the next 12 hours. A full day of exposure to this salubrious radiance acts as a cure-like wound spell, dealing 1d8 plus 5 points of damage. The temporarily halts the effect of disease and poison. 7 consecutive days of exposure removes all disease and naturalizes poison those creatures who back in the light. In addition to the 4 clear crystal lenses, 7 colored lenses were originally made for the lamp, each with its own effect. Ruby, red, Jacinth, orange, topaz, yellow, emerald green, diamond blue, sapphire, indigo, and amethyst violet. When the 3 openings of the lantern are shattered and a colored lens is placed in the remaining opening, a beam of colored light shines forth as a ray. This light in itself has no magical power until the proper command word is spoken and the ray is aimed at a single target. If the target is within 10 feet of the lantern and the lantern's wielder makes a successful ranged touch attack, the target does not receive a saving throw against the effect, and spell resist is not applied. If the target is further than 10 feet away, but within the lantern's 30-foot range, normal saving throws and SR applied. even with a successful range touch attack. The colored rays have the following effect, each of which uses 5 charges. Type of color, ruby, red. Effect, gold monster, will negate DC 17. Type of color, descent, orange. Effect, flame strike, 15 die 6. Damage, half fire, half sacred. Reflex, half DC 16. Type of color, topaz, yellow. Effect, lightning bolt, 10 die 6. Electricity damage, reflex, half DC 14. Type of color, emerald, green. Effect, haste. Type of color, diamond, blue. Effect, color spray. Will negate DC 11. Type of color, sapphire, indigo. Effect, fear. Will negates DC 16. Type of color, amethyst, violet. Effect, emotion, rage. Will negates DC 16. If a character places a colored gem lens in each opening of the lantern and rapidly spins it around, all creatures within 30 feet of the lantern, except its wielder, must make a successful will save DC 16 or be affected by confusion. Creatures within 10 feet of the lantern do not receive saving throws or SR. Any combination of 4 colored lenses produce this effect. This ability uses 10 charges. If a character possesses all 7 colored lenses and places them all in any order in the single opening of the lantern produces a prismatic spray. Save DC 20 on command. This uses 50 charges and has a 10% chance of shattering 1d4 lenses chosen at random. If all 7 lenses are arranged so that the diamond lens is alone in one opening, the ruby and descent lenses are in the next, the topaz and emerald lenses in the third, and the sapphire and amethyst lenses in fourth. The lantern produces a prismatic sphere. Save DC 23. At command, this uses 50 charges. Opening or closing one or more shutters on the lantern is a move equivalent action that does not provoke attacks of opportunity. Placing or removing a lens in an opening is a full round action that does provoke attacks of opportunity and threatening foes. All powers of the lantern are at a caster level of 20. If a lens shatters, a spellcaster with the craft wondrous item speed can make a new one. The lens requires an enormous gemstone of the appropriate variety, worth at least 10,000 gold pieces, and it must be cut by an expert gem cutter. Craft gem cutting, check DC 30, and has access to one of the the other lenses to use as a guide. In addition to the craft wondrous item fee, character making the lens must have access to the spell power that lens dissipates. Old monsters, flame, strike, lightning bolt, haste, color, spray, fear, or emotion, and must spend 5,000 gold pieces in 10 days in the crafting process. A character who owns Dowd's Wanderous Lantern gradually becomes highly possessed of the eye, suspicious of those who look at it, and increasingly secretive about it. This increases to paranormal intensity by the time the owner has held the lantern for 1 year. Dragon Hammer. Dragon Hammer is a +5 elite dragon bane greatsword. When used against evil dragons, its bane property does not function against good dragons. Against attacks by dragons, the wielder of the sword enjoys acid, electricity, fire, and cold resistance. 20 and a +7 luck bonus to AC. Helltongue. Helltongue is a +5 mighty wit, +4 strength bonus that deals base damage as if it were a colossal whip. 2d6. It has 3 strands on any successful hit roll, an additional 1d6 on a 1 through 2 one-strike hits, on a 3 to 4 two-strike hit, and on a 5 through 6 all 3 strands hit the target. One strand, a portion of the target's soul is transferred to the wielder. Target gains 2 negative levels, and the wielder gains 200 temporary hit points per negative level bestowed. Temporary hit points gained from the whip last for 24 hours. 2 strands. As 1 strand, except the whip bestows 4 negative levels. 3 strands. The target must make a successful fortitude save DC 10 plus half the wielder's character level plus the wielder's wisdom modifier, or immediately gain a number of negative levels equal to the target's effective character level. Normal character level minus any negative levels already incurred. The wielder gains 20 temporary hit points per negative level bestowed, and they last for 24 hours. Iron flask of burning to burning the merciless. Twarny the Merciless was a powerful spellcaster who killed the royal family of an ancient land in control of the kingdom. He enslaved a considerable army of the land with magic and forced them to war with neighboring lands. Twarny then began to summon demons, but he lacked the ability to control them. The fiends ravaged the countryside and threatened his kingdom, so Twarny fashioned a device that would imprison them and bind them to his will. This worked, and with the device, Twarny's might grew even further until one day, the demons within his iron flask broke free and claimed his soul. The iron flask is very small and plain, although the stopper is engraved and embossed with rubies of power. It holds 1d4 demons within it when first found. Roll the percentage for each demon 1 through 40. Gabrizu 41 through 80. No, Feshnet East 81 through 90. Maryland 96 through 00 balance. When the owner unstoppers it, he can command one of the demons to come out for up to 8 hours or until slain, at which point the demon goes back into the flask. You can't control the demon's every action during that time. No demon can be called forth more than once per week. More demons can be added to the flask or the iron flask. The target demon must be within 30 feet and the owner of the flask must use a standard action and a command word to attempt to imprison it. The user makes a spell resistance check if needed, using the iron flask caster level of 20. If that is successful, the demon must make a will save DC 20 to avoid imprisonment. The flask can hold up to 100 demons at the time that the demon is imprisoned. 1d4. But other demons attempt to get free from the flask. For each attempted escape, the possessor must make a will saving throw DC 20 plus 1 per demon in the flask. If a demon frees himself, it turns on the possessor and attempts to slay him. Each time a demon is called from the iron flask, the owner must make a successful will saving throw DC plus 1 for each previous save plus 1 per demon in the flask or become chaotic evil. Further, each time he must also make a level check DC 10 plus 1 for each previous save plus 1 per demon in the flask. For the demon called is free and turns on him. If the possessor is even slain by one of the demons from the iron flask, the demon is able to immediately steal his soul and carry it off to the abyss. Descent of inestimable beauty. This reddish gemstone is undescribably beautiful and exquisite, cut in dozens of faces that reflect the smallest light into a splendid display of radiant beams. When opening, displayed in the presence of any light source, the stone doubles the effective radius of illumination. When held, the descent of inestimable beauty grants its possessor blinding beauty like that of a nymph. This ability affects all creatures within 60 feet of the possessor and of the same creature type, humanoid, outsider, and so on. Those who look directly at the possessor must succeed on a fortitude save DC 15 or be permanently blinded. The possessor cannot suppress this ability while holding the gem, only by putting it away. Once per day, on command, the Jastin can wrap its possessor in unearthly beauty again, like a nymph, especially, or like a nymph's special ability. Creatures of any type within 30 feet who look directly at the item's owner must succeed on a will save DC 17 or die. Jehoiades mask. When not worn, Jehoiades mask appears as a simple white Persalian mask with very plain features. When put on by any creature, however, it immediately transforms into an exact replica of that creature's face, appearing as though the creature had no mask on at all. The wearer is immune to gaze attacks and mind effects, spells, and effects. In addition, the wearer can command the mask to disguise her as another creature. This works like the altar self-spell. The regalia of evil, or the regalia of evil. These three separate artifacts possess great power and even greater power when used together. In eons long past, before humanity was born, perhaps before the world was forged, a gathering of the gods of darkness and corruption worked together to outfit a champion hit against the gods of light and the lords of balance. Since this time, the regalia of the evil have been used by a champion of evil whenever a dispute needed to be settled against the similarly equipped champion of good or neutrality, each side having its own regalia as described below. Maybe that today these contests of champions no longer occur. Items of the regalia have fallen into mortal hands. Still, the gods of evil occasionally check on the devices that they created so long ago. It has been millennia since all three items of the regalia of the evil have been used by a single being. The crown of evil. This iron crown is crude and rough, fashioned to look like black flames leaving the head of the wearer. When an evil creature puts on the crown, its head is indeed wreathed in actual reddish black fire. These flames conceal the wearer's face. The wearer gains immunity to fire, a +4 enhancement bonus to strength, a +4 deflection bonus to armor class, and SR20. You can use an unearthing gaze at will, making his face resemble a loved one or bitter enemy of one opponent within 75 feet, and causing that opponent to take a -1 morale penalty on all attack rolls for 20 rounds. Will save negates DC 15. SR applies. 3 times per day. Each he can use create undead and wall of fire, and can also create a burst of hellfire in a 5-foot radius spread, dealing 3d6 points of damage. No saving throw, but SR applies. These special diabolic flames are not actual fire, and resistance to fire offers no protection from them. All spells and similar abilities are cast at 20th level. The wearer can speak only lies while wearing crown, and most wearers choose never to speak at all. The Spectre of Evil. This rod is made of iron draped in chains. A dark red flame is always lit at one end, but it gives no heat. While in an evil character's possession, it confers a +2 enhancement bonus to charisma. The wielder can use the following spells 3 times per day each. Fear, DC 19, a special corrupt fireball that deals half fire and half unholy damage. DC 18, Contagion, DC 18, and Innervation, DC 19. All spells are cast at level 20th level, The owner of this device slowly becomes more and more egotistical. The Orb of Evil. The 6-inch orb is made of pitted and scarred iron. Red sparks fly from it at the slightest touch. An evil wielder can rebuke or command undead as a 15th level player. While in an evil character's possession, it confers a +4 enhancement bonus to wisdom. Further, the orb can be used to absorb spells like a rod of absorption. The owner slowly grows more greedy over time. The regalia of evil possesses greater powers called resonating effects. If the same creature owns more than one of them, resonating effect 2 items. While a single creature possesses 2 items of the regalia of evil, he gains a +2 circumstance bonus to all diplomacy and intimidate checks made against evil creatures, as they automatically recognize the creature as a powerful minion of evil. Mindless undead view the character as an undead creature, and the character's infinity for the undead grants him a +1 circumstance bonus on saving throws against mind influencing effects. Poison, sleep, paralysis, stunning, and disease. Similarly, vermin hold the character in high regard. A successful charisma check DC 20 prevents a vermin from attacking the character for 24 hours. Finally, all evil spells cast by the creature, including those from an item of the regalia, have a +2 added to the saving throw DC. Resonating effect 3 items. While a single creature possesses all 3 items of the regalia of evil, gains a +4 enhancement bonus to Constitution, Dexterity, and Intelligence. All weapon damage dealt by the wielder is infused with the essence of evil and can only be healed by magic cast within the area of a consecrated or hollow spell. Non-evil characters. A non-evil character attempting to use any of these items immediately take 5d6 points of damage. Further, a good aligned character attempting to use the item must succeed on a will saving throw DC 18 or lose 2,000 XP. The Regalia of Good. The three mighty artifacts that comprise the Regalia of Good forged at the same time as the Regalia of the Evil and for the same purpose. For the use of a divine champion to oppose the similarly equipped champion of the evil and neutral deities. For long centuries, the deities of good held the items of the regalia together in one god's care. They were stolen separated, and are now lost. The crown of good. This thin coronet of twisted mithril is elegant and slender, fashioned to look like rays of light surrounding the head of the wearer. When a good creature puts on the crown, its head is indeed surrounded in a brilliant halo of light. The wearer gains immunity to electricity, a +4 enhancement bonus to wisdom, a +4 deflection bonus to armor class, and SR 20. He can use the guidance spell at will. He can use the following spells 3 times per day each. Heroes feast each. Per day each. He can use the following spells 3 times per day each. Heroes feast, sending, and status. Once per day he can summon himself with a globe of invulnerability. All spells are cast at 20th level. The wearer cannot speak any lies while wearing a crown. Scepter of Good. This slender rod is made of mithril, wreathed in a pattern of intertwining leaves. One end constantly glows with a soft white light equivalent of a torch, but heatless. While in a good character's possession, it confers a +4 enhancement bonus to charisma and grants immunity to mind-affecting spells and effects. The wielder can command obedience as if it were a rod of rulership with no use limit, and can use Holy Smite DC 19 and Searing Light DC 18 3 times per day each. All spells are cast at 20th level. The wielder of the scepter becomes increasingly unable to refuse pleas for help, no matter how desperate it is. The Orb of Good. The 6-inch spear is made of purest crystal, encased in a filigree cage of polished mithril laurel leaves. A good wielder can turn or destroy undead as a 15th level cleric. While in a good character's possession, it confers a +4 enhancement bonus to intelligence Further, the orb can be used to scry like a crystal ball with the added ability of detect thoughts. Once per day, the orb can be used to cast heal as a 20th level flare by touch. Resonating effect: 2 items. While a single creature possesses 2 items of the Regalia of Good, he gains a +2 circumstance bonus on all diplomacy checks made against good creatures, as they automatically recognize the character as a powerful servant good. As the character's nature alters to reflect the celestial energies that surround the Regalia, he gains a +1 circumstance bonus on saving throws against electricity, petrification, cold, acid, fire, and poison. The character gains low light vision and dark vision with a range of 60 feet. If the wielder casts a Lunar ally spell, including the lesser and greater versions, to call a celestial, the creature will serve for half the price it would normally charge in goods or service, at the DM's discretion. Finally, all good spells cast by the creature, including those from an item of the Regalia, have a +2 added to the saving throw DC. Resonating effect: 3 items. While a single creature possesses all 3 items of the Regalia of Good, he gains a +4 enhancement bonus to strength, dexterity, and constitution. Any weapon wielded by the creature becomes a holy weapon, dealing an extra +1d6 points of damage to evil creatures. In addition, the wielder radiates an aura of courage, granting all his allies within 30 feet a +4 morale bonus on their saving throws to resist fear effects. Non-good creatures. A non-good creature attempting to use any of these items immediately take 5d points of damage. Further, when the evil aligned character attempting to use the item must succeed on a will saving throw, DC 18, or lose 2000 XP. The Regalia of Neutrality. It is not clear whether the deities of neutrality created the items of the Regalia of Neutrality to take an active part in the contests of divine champions that prompted the creation of the similar items of good and evil, or whether they appointed a champion to help resolve those contests. Whether the case, these items are equally ancient and equally powerful. The current location of the items is unknown. It is possible that one neutral deity still holds them for safekeeping, or that the neutral deities, as they once did, still take turns keeping guard over the items. It is equally possible that they too were lost or stolen. The crown of neutrality. This gold crown is traditional in appearance compared to its related items of good and evil, being a wide circle of metal surmounted by 9 peaks, each peak holding a gemstone of a different color. The wearer gains immunity to acid and cold, a +4 enhancement bonus to intelligence, and +4 deflection bonus to armor class, and SR20. She can automatically disguise between truth, half-truth, or distinguish between truth, half-truth, and lies. She hears or reads. She can use the following spells 3 times per day each. Geas/Quest, Detect Odds, DC 17. B. Ataluk's Resilient Sphere, DC 19. All spells are cast at 20th level. In the interest of maintaining impartiality, the wearer of the crown is compelled to reveal all falsehoods she discerns, including those she herself speaks. The Spectre of Neutrality. This morning, Gold Scepter, the Scepter of Neutrality. This ornate gold scepter, like the crown, looks like many mundane royal scepters. A heavy rod topped with a large globe and studded with gemstones. While in a neutral character's possession, it confers a +4 enhancement bonus on Constitution. The wielder gains fast healing 2, healing 2 hit points every round until she is slain or no longer holds the scepter. The wielder gains fast healing 2, healing 2 hit points every round until she is slain or no longer holds the scepter. The wielder can use the following spells 3 times per day each. Tongues, DC 20, Shout, DC 19, The Greater Command, DC 20. All spells are cast at 20th level. The wielder of the scepter becomes increasingly driven to seek resolution to disputes, though not necessarily a peaceful solution to, for example, being ambushed by monsters. The Orb of Neutrality. This 6-inch orb is made of gold and topped by a gem-studded knob. While in a neutral character's possession, it confers a +4 enhancement bonus to charisma. Further, the orb allows the wielder to see in all directions at once, as if wearing a robe of eyes, but with no visible change to her person. She gains dark vision to 100 feet and can see invisible or ethereal things within 120 feet. She also gains a +15 circumstance bonus on search and spot checks. She retains her dexterity bonus to AC even when flat-footed and can be flanked. Unlike a robe of eyes, the orb does allow its wielder to avert or close her eyes from a creature with a gaze attack, and it cannot be blinded by magical light. Resonating effect: 2 items. While a single creature possesses 2 items of the regalia of neutrality, she gains a +2 circumstance bonus on all diplomacy checks made against neither good nor evil. creatures, as they automatically recognize the character as a powerful servant of neutrality. The character slowly becomes more like the inevitables, construct inhabitants of the clockwork nirvana of Alcanus, gaining a +1 circumstance bonus on saving throws against light influencing effects, poison, sleep, paralysis, stunning, disease, death effects, and necromantic effects. Animals, including dire animals but not beasts, hold the character in high regard. A successful charisma check DC 20 prevents an animal from attacking the character for 24 hours. All lawful or chaotic spells cast by the creature, including those from an item of the regalia, have +2 added to the saving throw DC. Resonating effect: 3 items. While a single creature possesses all 3 items of the regalia of neutrality, she gains a +4 enhancement bonus to strength, dexterity, and wisdom. Any weapon she wields is treated as a speed weapon, granting her an extra attack each round at her highest bonus. Good and evil characters. A good or evil character attempting to use any of these items immediately take 5d6 points of damage and must succeed on a will saving throw DC 18 or lose 2000 XP. The Rod of 7 Parts. Orbs Beyond Ago by Wind Dukes of Aqua. Powerful creatures of law for us in their war against the Queen of Chaos. The Rod of 7 Parts was sundered in the cataclysmic battle of Pesh. Its seven fragments scattered themselves across the worlds and planes, but each fragment retains at least a fragment of the mighty magic that once coursed through the complete rod. The Rod of 7 Parts, when intact, was 5 feet long and tapered from 2 inches across at the bottom to a half-inch at the tip. As portions of an artifact of law, the segments do not appear broken. Each break has an intricate pattern of crystalline faucets, including both protrusions and depressions. The individual segments are 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 15 inches long. Each segment of the rod has a minor spell-like power activated by a command word. The caster level for each power is 20th. Saving throw DCs where applicable are 17 plus spell level. The 4-inch tip can cure life wounds 5 times per day. The 5-inch segment can create a slow effect once per day. The 6-inch segment can cast haste once per day. The 8-inch segment can create a gust of wind 5 times a day. The 10-inch segment provides true seeing once per day. The 12-inch segment can hold monster once per day. The 15-inch segment can heal once per day. A non-lawful character who possesses a single segment of the rod of 7 parts must make a will save each week, DC 17, to avoid becoming lawful. A lawful character who holds a segment of the rod thinks of it as part of a larger item and determine in what direction the next larger segment lies by making a successful concentration check. DC 20. This works like locate object, but there is no range or duration limit, and it is not blocked by lead or lead. This power cannot be used to find smaller segments than the one possessed. The segments of the rod can be joined together to produce an increasingly powerful artifact. The more pieces joined, the mightier the item. Two sections joined together allows the wielder to apply a will using a command word to activate the power. 3 segments grant the wielder spell resistance 15 and can be used as a +1 light mace. 4 segments can control winds twice per day. Command word activated. Can function as a +2 heavy mace. 5 segments allow the wielder to shape change once per day and function as a +3/+3 quarterstaff. 6 segments allow the user to wind walk once per day and function as a +4/+4 quarterstaff. A character wielding 6 or 7 assembled segments as a weapon gains the benefit of the ambidexterity, the two-weapon fighting feats, facilitating the rod's use as a double weapon. The character does not gain the benefit of these feats when fighting with any weapon other than the rod. If the character attempts to join 2 pieces of the rod together incorrectly, trying to attach the 6-inch segment to the 10-inch segment, for example, the larger segment teleports away, traveling 1/10 by 100 miles in a random direction. Because the dimensions of the rods are so precise, it is easy to tell which pieces belong together and which do not. If all 7 segments of the rod of 7 parts are joined together, it gains several additional powers. The wielder of the assembled rod can use control weather, whirlwind, and greater restoration each once per day. The rod functions as a +5/+5 quarterstaff with chaotic outsider bane and lawful properties on both ends. Finally, the wielder of the rod of 7 parts can use it to cast true resurrection, but using this power causes the rod to shatter its pieces, scattering once more across worlds and planes.
This was brought to you by Franklin County Internet Gaming Society on YouTube and Facebook. Roger Hansen on Patreon, and Gaming with Infamous on Discord. Thanks for stopping by. Listen to our podcast on any of these platforms: Anchor, Breaker, Overcast, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Spotify. Support us on Patreon, and check us out on Discord. All the links can be found in the video description below. We thank you for your participation. If you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, share, make comments. We love feedback.